Evening, welcome to Tuesday's tutorial. We're going to look at tree pose today. If you're anything like me, your tree pose might have been a little bit limp and you just kind of think that as soon as you've got your balance, you're nailing it, but you look a little bit of a sad tree. But it's actually quite an active pose. So we're going to start by bringing our awareness all the way down to our feet, pressing down all the way into your right foot. And then from here, think about bending into the left foot and then open the left knee out to the side. But as you do that, don't take the hips with it. So keep the hips pointing forward. So imagine, I talked about some headlights or some guns on your hips last week. So imagine that they're there. So you want the headlight to keep shining forwards as you open the knee out to the side. So that brings some movement into your hip. Bring your left foot to your right ankle. So if you want a bit of stability, then you can keep your big toe on the ground. If you want a little bit less support, then you can take the foot to your ankle a little bit higher so the foot's lifted up off the ground. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can bring the foot a little bit higher up but below the knee, so onto the shin. If you want more of a challenge, you might need to use your hands. You can bring the foot higher up so it's against the thigh but it's above the knee. So if it lands on the knee, then use your hand to pull the foot a little bit further up. And the reason is that we don't want to apply sideways pressure to the knee. The knee is a hinge joint, so it's made to go back and forth, not really round and round from side to side. So we never want to have the foot on the knee, so either above or below on the knee. And if you want a bit more of a challenge, a bit more of a hip opener, then you can bring your foot into a half lotus pose, so bringing your foot into the groin of the standing leg. So wherever you are, the hips are pointing forwards and you're pressing the knee of the lifted leg outwards, so towards the back of the room. But again, as you do that, the hips might want to go with you, so you just keep the hips square, and as you press the knee away, you won't go as far if you keep the hips square. And you'll feel that opening in the hip of the lifted leg. Give the tailbone a little tuck under and really press the foot and the standing leg towards each other. So as you do that, that switches on the standing leg. It's not a limp leg, it's not a limp tree, it's a really strong tree. So that's your base. Pressing the foot and the leg into each other will help to strengthen this base and activate the leg that's lifted as well. Imagine that you're being pulled up by the top of your head as well, so that your back is long, the crown of your head is long. Think about finding your focal point, so your drishti. So look at something that isn't moving and focus your gaze on that, and that helps with the balance, not the floor, because if you look at the floor, you'll end up on it. Your hands can be at your heart center. Once you've got your balance, you might want to open your arms out, so find your branches. Or you might want to find an alternative that opens up your shoulders. So you might want to take reverse namaste, bringing the hands behind your back into prayer position. Or you might want to take cow-faced arms. If you do that, make sure you do both sides, so swap the sides when you swap your legs. If you want even more of a challenge, once you've got your balance, then look up towards the ceiling. And if you want even more of a challenge, then you can close your eyes, but as you can see, it's quite hard. So it's good it opens the hips. It's not just a saggy, loose pose. The point of the pose is not just the balance, it's also the opening of the hips, the strengthening of your core. Let me know if you have any questions, get in touch. Let me know what you want me to cover next week, and I will see you soon.